Good afternoon, Michael Mazarang here again, and today we're going to continue our discussion about foundation drainage and crawl space moisture problems on houses. This little house is about 1,500 square feet, about 50 years old, and has the atypical crawl space challenges that you'll find in a Carolina house. This house is well maintained. The homeowner bought this home, and she's done a really good job taking care of it. Had all the overgrown bushes cut away and removed that were getting too big around the foundation. The plants that remain look really good, but she did note that a lot of water intrusion was coming in on this side, as you'll see here. And you'll see that we've introduced some vent wells into the equation here. And what a vent well is, it's basically a little half moon system that you dig out. And you dig well beneath the level of the vent location so that you have 3 inches of pea gravel below grade at the base of the well. You can see here, these vents here are properly above grade, installed above grade. But a lot of times, you know, builders will just forget to put the vent wells in, or over time, heaving bushes and plants will just change the grade, or they'll install hardscapes that just block these vents. So you can see here, we cleaned these up, cleaned up the flower bed, and introduced these vent wells in here, the 3 inches of pea gravel at the base. And this completely rectified the foundation drainage problem. So instead of installing a sump pump system, which one of the companies wanted to do, we were able to quite cheaply and efficiently resolve the water intrusion issue completely by installing these vent wells. Continuing to walk around this house, you can see at some point we had some stamped concrete added here, which completely blocked off all the foundation vents here on the back side of the house. This, no question, created some foundation moisture issues, as the original foundation vents, and there were 4 or 5 here to begin with, are now completely blocked by this hardscape. And this is where you start getting into trouble with crawl space moisture problems. Crawl space vents are designed for air changeover. And you can see here, there's hardly any vents on this side of the house. So as we walk around the house, we've got one vent here. And then back here, circling around on the front, we can see that there were only a few foundation vents getting air exchange on this house. So in addition to our vent wells being installed, we went ahead and did some work inside the crawl space, including remediating some microbial growth from the floor system, as well as adding additional structural support for the floors, as this house had pretty bouncy floors. So I'll go ahead and move over to the crawl space entrance door and get inside, and we'll show some of the things we did inside the crawl space to help control the moisture and to improve the floor performance for this home. Here we are at the crawl space entrance, and we're going to look at some of the work we did inside the crawl space. You can see we're re-insulating right now, and we are using the eco-friendly Owens Corning R19 pink insulation for all of our installs. And I'm going to crawl in here, turn on some lights. You can see we did a full mold remediation on this house and deployed a commercial dehumidifier, which is now running in place. The guys are finishing up here today to get this job completed. And you can see they did a nice job here re-insulating the subfloor. Floor system cleaned up really nice. We did bring in a third-party mold hygienist to clear the work. A lot of our competition will self-clear. which is not really appropriate. We bring in a licensed third-party mold hygienist to swab and clear all of our work areas as part of our program. In addition to that, we also had some performance problems with this floor system. You know, standard 2x10 construction on flush girder. But as you'll see here, you know, this is an older house, and these ledger boards can sag, and also, you know, a 50-year-old house, we just simply didn't have that many crawl space piers to work with here. So the house had lots of performance problems with the floor system. We did install additional 4 CMU piers here, and you can see this structural steel girder line was installed. We're also going to get a licensed engineer to inspect and clear this part of the project as well. You can see the guys use metal shims and the proper pressure treated wood shimming here between the interface between the structural steel and the 8x16 CMU pier. And you can see that this girder spans about 25 feet all the way to where the original flush girder interface here in front of me ends. So we extended the performance of this girder line by installing this supplemental girder, which in turn greatly improved the floor system upstairs. So you can see here how a typical flush girder construction system works. You know, it's a traditionally stick-built house, but you know, these systems, you know, especially on a 40-50-year-old house, they just are spans over 12 feet. You know, can create a performance bounce in the floor system, as well as you know, if you have, let's say, a countertop or perhaps some heavy furniture upstairs, you know, that can also be a performance challenge with these types of floor systems. So installing a supplemental drop girder support, as we just saw, is a great way to cut spans down and improve the performance of a floor system. In addition to it, we did seal up all the vents on this crawl space and went with a closed system. We do offer both choices, whether it be ventilated or a controlled ventilation system, or just the fully sealed option as we have here. But this crawl space is 100% closed off from the outside air. And you can see here, I'll crawl to one of the vents that was sealed up from the inside with foam board. In expandable foam, this has been done in every vent on the house. In addition to installing the vent wells as we did earlier to stop the water intrusion, and the deployment of this commercial dehumidifier, which is running today, we will be able to keep the crawl space under control. The unit is set approximately around 68% for long-term use, so that the dehumidifier doesn't run too hard. So this again is, of course, a picture of a basic humidity controlled crawl space or closed crawl space system with the additional of a supplemental drop girder and some basic foundation drainage improvements. If you have any questions about structural steel drop girders or CMU piers, dehumidifiers, controlled ventilation systems, sealed crawl spaces, vapor barriers, any of those types of things, we certainly, these guys will certainly install any type of product that is on the market today, and we would appreciate a phone call. So again, this is Michael Mazarang. We appreciate you joining us today, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Take care.